We've all heard that saying, a job worth doing is worth doing well. It's probably been drummed into you as a child that if you're going to do something, then you may as well do a really good job. It's something that's very common for all of us. It's probably been, really, really drummed into us by our teachers, by our parents, where a job worth doing is worth doing well. Well, my mentor taught me this fabulous stress tool, and he recognized it as a stress tool. Hi, Mindy. That when we are faced with something that's challenging or important to us, we put it off because we say to ourselves, if I can't do a really good job, if I can't do this well, then there's no point me doing it. If I don't do this perfectly, then I shouldn't do it, because a job worth doing is doing well. So what happens is we put off doing things because they're not perfect. And I'm a classic one for that. My personality type is one that is a perfectionist. I need to make sure things are absolutely perfect. Hi, Mindy. Absolutely perfect before I do them. I want all the details in place. And so I procrastinate because everything's not perfect and I put them off. So here's the thing. If the only way we can get good at things or do things really well is to do them lousy, is to do them bad, is to do a half-hearted job, because that's where we learn. That's where we, perhaps not half-hearted, but doing a job that isn't perfect, making mistakes, not doing it as well as we could have, and knowing what we can do to improve upon that. I give the example of roller skating or riding a bike. Most people have done that in their lifetime, and you can rest assured that when they got on those roller skates or on that push bike, it was not perfect the first time. It was not a job well done. We've all fallen off our bike, had crashes, fallen on our backside on our roller skates, and so we had to learn through a process of mistakes. If we had said, well, there's no point getting on roller skates or no point getting on a push bike unless I do it perfectly, then we would never have done it. And what happens is that we put those things off, and then ultimately that produces stress for us. We can find ourselves 6 months down the track and we haven't even started something that's really important to us. We haven't made progress on it, because a job worth doing is worth doing well. So I'm not going to start this until I can do it absolutely perfect. So something is better than nothing. A great example of this in terms of business and big famous, successful people that follow this principle is the iPhone. When the iPhone was first launched, there was a lot of people competing in that space with that interface technology, with the touch screen technology for mobile phones. Everybody was on the brink of launching it. At the time, Blackberries were the leaders in the mobile phone market, closely followed by Nokia in terms of professional devices that people used in the mobile industry. Now, Apple decided, this isn't perfect, but we're going to launch it because our users are going to tell us where it's wrong. Our users are going to tell us where the problems are, or what they want us to do better, or what they're just not using and it's not valuable. And that's very much the philosophy of Apple in challenging the status quo, in making things user-friendly. That's their philosophy that they live by. So being perfect, being right, a job worth doing is worth doing well, was not under their scope of philosophy. They embraced the mistakes they knew that they were going to make, and it made sure that they were leaders. They set a benchmark and were leaders in that field. So it can cause us more stress by putting things off until they're perfect. It's like that anyone that's had children knows that there is no perfect time to have children. Just do it and learn how to deal with it afterwards. For most people, that's generally what happens. Some people it's planned, for most it's a little less. And the other trap that we can fall into in relation to this is that we find the perfect time to do things. So things may be important to us, but they're not necessarily urgent. We really want to do them. We want to achieve them for ourselves. So we'll fit them in when we can. We'll do that when we can, but it's not urgent